I've been supporting women for nearly 20 years in learning how to become more empowered in our bodies and in our relationships and so on and so forth. And one of the things that I have found in all of my years of working with women is that 99.9% of women deeply desire to be in relationship. Now, here's the thing about relationship. It is the number one way that you can see all of your stuff, for better and maybe for not so better, because you get to be reflected upon by somebody else and activated within the context of the relationship. And so if you are somebody that is in relationship, you probably know what I'm talking about. And if you're somebody that's not yet in relationship but yearning for one, just know that it's going to be very different than when you were single. Now, I've been in relationship with my husband for over 15 years, and we've been married for 13 years, and he has reflected to me some of the gnarliest parts of myself that I haven't always wanted to look at. Prior to him, when I was in my single days, I thought I had it all going on, and I did on many levels, but I was only able to see myself to a point. I wasn't able to actually get into the nooks and the crannies and the crevices of some of the places that now, having been in relationship and still in relationship and committed to having the best relationship ever, allows me to clean and clear. Kind of like in your house, you can have a house that can be nice and neat and clean, but then you move a chair or you move a bed or you look behind something, and what I call is you got the crunky corners. And if you don't have a way to activate and look at those crunky corners and get in there every once in a while and clean them as just living your life, then they're just going to build up and build up and build up. So I find the same is true for when I was single versus when I was in relationship. So now that I've been in relationship for quite some time, we even actually support and lead others in having the best relationship ever. There's something profound about what being in a relationship can offer you for your personal growth. In the community that I steward called the Edenworld, we have a principle with 12 principles. And the first principle, the number one principle, is relationship is our North Star, because that says that it provides the environment, the crucible of a container for that energetic to grow yourself and to grow each other. And that you can serve as mirrors to each other. So if I think that he's doing something that I don't like, it's often is you spot it, you got it. And it's typically something that I'm maybe doing that I can't see as well in myself, that he's doing that I can see easily and point it out to him all day long, but not necessarily see in myself until he reflects back to me, yeah, you're doing that too. And then I have to take a good look at myself and really look at, is that a behavior that I want to keep doing? Is that a behavior that I've been a little bit in a blind spot around or a complete blind spot around? And it took for me to point it to him and him to point it back to me for me to see it. And that's also taking extreme personal responsibility for what it is that I'm thinking he's doing. But a good friend of mine one day, several years ago, said, if somebody's pushing your buttons and triggering you, it's not that it's not about them. It's not about the button pusher. It's the fact that you have the button. So get rid of the button. So relationship works in the same way. If I'm feeling triggered or upset or annoyed by something that my partner is doing, or really this can apply almost to any relationship, it doesn't have to be a significant other, but in the romantic, intimate partnerships, my husband and I know that if something is triggering me by his behavior, the longest time I would point it out to him, but I would only have it reflected back to me, and that sucked, and we would get in this like do-si-do, round and round the misery train we go. But now I recognize, what is that thing that he's bumping up against or he's creating or causing for me to get stirred by? And how can I take better care of my nervous system, of my needs, of my being resourced, of the way that I receive the information, and so on and so forth. It is a quick and easy and sometimes painful reflection point that shows me where I'm at in my life and where I'm at in my capacity. And if things are smooth sailing, then I'm doing something right. I got my self-care down. I've got my grounding practices down. I've got my nervous system regulation down. But if I'm getting agitated and frustrated, it's often because there's something that I have missed within myself that I need to tend to. And it can be so easy to blame the other person or to point the other person. But that's why when we look at relationship as the North Star, I see that we are better together because of what it brings up, how it gets brought up, how I activate within myself to clear some of the debris or the mechanisms that have me be, again, agitated, triggered, crunchy or whatever with my partner. And I can look more closely at what is causing that. Sometimes it has nothing to do with anything other than I'm just freaking hangry, right? Or I didn't get enough sleep, or there's something that I haven't said that I needed to speak up for because I stepped over myself, days ago and didn't communicate properly. But regardless of what is up, where it's up, when it comes up, how it comes up, having this container of relationship to grow myself and to see these spots in me that I would like to, polish. I'd like to have a little bit more refined, that I get to work on with this loving human who's almost always loving until his shit's up. But that's the beauty of relationship, and seeing that two people coming together is more than just having a buddy to go through life, although that's a really great thing. It's more than just be able to have, an intimate, sexy partner, because sometimes and oftentimes that fades and you're left with the two of you and how you make it work together. And so having this opportunity for him to reflect the places in me that I wouldn't see on my own, that I didn't see on my own when I was single. It wasn't shown to me. It wasn't up for me. It wasn't triggering me when I was single, because I could just go back into my sovereign container and be like, the hell with you. In relationship, I can be to hell with you, but that's not the relationship that I'm choosing to grow or to be in. So having relationship as a reflective mirror to both understand myself, look at the ways that I can bolster up how I be in relationship to others, in relationship to myself, and using it as a sort of like canary in the coal mine, I guess, when things are not going so well or feeling so well, to look at who can I be different? How can I be different? What do I need as a human in this moment to soothe that trigger, or as I just said, get rid of the button, so that there's nobody that can push it because the button's just not there anymore. So that's what I love about relationship as our North Star, as a concept, and how it empowers me every day to be a better human, and certainly a better wife and a lover to my beloved husband.